Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world, everyone. This is Geaux Stros. It's been a really long time, and getting off to a little bit of I guess you could say, no, I got the wrong game up on the screen here. I'm off to a little shaky start because I had to get up around 5 o'clock this morning. But let me jump into where we're at right now and update you in between innings. Jose Altuve is at the plate. My own personal hero. Strike two as he bunts foul down the third base side, and the count is 1-2. It is the bottom of the first. The Astros are already down 2-0 off an apparent home run by the Giants in the very first inning, top of the first. Altuve fouls that one off, 79 miles per hour, kind of low in the dirt. I'll get things a little smoothed out here as we go along. I'm going to spend a little extra time today smoothing things out. Swing and a miss on a ball low and inside, 89 miles per hour changeup. Altuve not really happy about that one, as he has a few choice words for himself. Okay. Well, this is looking pretty good. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate in the very first hit. He cranks it to the left field side, just a little left of the foul pole. Could have been a home run right there. Next pitch is low and away for ball one. The count is even 1-1. Nobody on base, one out for Paredes. Currently batting 188 for the season. Next one is a changeup, or rather a curveball. 79 miles an hour. Swing and a miss by Paredes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-1, or 1-2 pitch rather. Another curveball, 78 miles an hour, identical to the last pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3. Paredes starts off with an almost home run. What a crush too that was. But then he just can't make contact with a couple of the other pitches. Strikes out, 4 out, number 2. Yordan Alvarez is at the plate. First pitch to him is outside, 77 miles an hour. Another curveball, third straight one from Roop. That's how you say his name, Landon Roop. Next pitch is low, 90 miles an hour in the dirt. Swing and a miss by Alvarez. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Little inside. Good take by Alvarez. 2 balls, 1 strike. Doesn't look like there's a huge crowd in Daikin Park today. Here comes the next pitch. 2-1 pitch is a little high, 94 mile per hour sinker. 3 balls and 1 strike to the big man, Yordan Alvarez. Just 13 pitches for Root right now. Here comes the next one. Right in there and hit just foul down the first base side. That line is being covered closely by the first baseman. The count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Astros down 2-0 already here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the next pitch to Alvarez. Foul tip in the dirt. Count remains 3-2. That will be another strikeout. Swing and a miss by Yordan Alvarez. 2 strikeouts now for him. Back to back on Paredes and Alvarez. And now they're showing highlights of Ohtani, which I don't give one flip about. All right. As you can probably see on the screen, I don't have a lot of stuff sorted out on my screen, but I'll get that sorted in just a minute. We're on a break right now. It is the middle of the I'm sorry, it's in between innings. It's the end of the first, guys. The Astros down 2-0 already after a 2-run shot in the first inning, top of the first. Astros down, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab myself some water for my coffee, and I'll be right back. Actually, I want to change my background. Where's my desktop? What's up there? Excuse me. Okay, be right back. I'm gonna go get myself some hot water for coffee. All right, everyone. Matos just hit what appears to be another home run for the Giants, and they are showing that it hit above the line. Yep, they just called it a home run after a review. So while I'm getting coffee, Matos adds another home run for the Giants, and that's 3-0. Valdez not off to a good start here. He's already given up 3 runs before he can get 4 outs. That's very un-Fromber-like. Well, at least we know what we're working with here. The Astros are going to have to score at least 4 runs to win this game, so their bats are going to have to crank it up. Sam Huff comes to the plate with no outs, no runners on. First pitch is a curveball strike from Valdez. That home run was a 93-mile-per-hour sinker on the inside. You just got around on it. Next pitch is a little out of the zone for ball 1, and the count is even. Sam Huff batting .313. Actually, he was batting .313 in the spring, apparently. They don't have his season average. He fouls that one away. 94-mile-per-hour sinker from Valdez. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs. Greetings to anyone who stops in. Thank you for being here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Valdez. That one's a line drive shot right at Paredes, who snatches it. Wow, that was a rip. Man, they are hitting the ball quite hard against Valdez. Luckily, that one was right at Paredes. Valdez doesn't look too happy with himself right now. Let's hope that he can just gather himself and throw some good pitches. That one's a good pitch, 95 mile per hour, right to the middle of the plate to Mike Yastrzemski. Strike one. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Valdez, moving along pretty quickly here. Curveball just misses. I'm sorry, that was a slider. A little low and away. That evens the count, 1-1. Nobody on, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, 95 right in the top of the zone. Swing and a miss. Yastrzemski gives us the whiff Strimski. Thank you all for being here today, by the way. The Lion, thank you so much. It's really nice to see you. It's nice to see some familiar names. That ball is out of the zone for ball 2. 2-2 is the count. Yastrzemski batting left-handed to the left-handed Valdez. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Just a little outside, 96 mile per hour sinker. The count is full. I hope I didn't put too much water in there just now. Here comes a full count pitch. That one's low and away. Ball 4. Ball 4. Yastrzemski is on first base. I can actually put the runner on there. I plan to change up my layout a little bit. There are some things that I want to do differently. Kind of just make things a little more interesting. Right now it's kind of plain Jane, so I apologize for the crudeness of my layout right now. It's just the way it is. I haven't had time. I'll explain that when I have a chance. Tyler Fitzgerald comes to the plate. He takes the first pitch for strike 1. It's 0-1. Runner on first with 1 out. 79 miles per hour. Low and inside. Curveball. That evens the count. 1-1. We need some hits. Heck yes, we do. The Astros haven't been hitting the ball, haven't they? Or have they not? 95 right in the zone. Fouled away on the first base side. Fitzgerald batting right-handed. 286 average so far on the season. Okay, I didn't put too much water in my coffee. Got just the right amount. Okay. Runner on first with 1 out. 1-2 is the count. Valdez facing Tyler Fitzgerald, the 9th batter. Here comes the pitch. Way outside and high. 82 mile per hour slider. Yonder able to grab that without too much effort. Valdez is wanting to change the ball. The count is 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Fitzgerald. Runner is going to second. Yonder makes the throw, but it's way too late and not on the mark. Yastrzemski with the steal. Now there's another runner in scoring position. Runner on second, full count to Fitzgerald. Here comes the pitch from Valdez. Way up high. And actually bounces off of Yiner's glove, but the runner's not able to advance. However, there are now 2 base runners as Valdez walks his second batter. And I'm trying to get rid of I've got my pour over coffee. bag right here. I'm trying to set it down on my desk, but I have to put it on the paper there. There we go. Now I've got my coffee. Pitching mound visit by the pitching coach. Valdez is already up to almost 40 pitches. One more and he'll be there. He's only got one out, but he's got 2 base runners. Been a series of ups and downs for me over the past year, since my last real live game. Get into that a little bit later. Ramos is now at the plate. Helio Ramos. First pitch is a swing and a miss. 89 miles an hour. Good changeup by Valdez. Strike 1. The count is 0-1. All right, here comes the next pitch. The runners are going, and this is hit out into left center. It might get down, and it does. It's into the gap. It's going to score at least another run. Maybe 2, and it does score 2. Just like that, it's 5-0 on a deep shot to the wall, left center field all the way to the wall. Nobody's able to get there. 5-0. What a game for me to start calling, huh? Well, I've got this much to say. This is the perfect game for the Astros bats to come alive and start scoring some runs. We can still win this game. I'm going to be positive. I really do believe that the Astros can win this game. They just need to start hitting the ball. Willie Adams comes to the plate. Ramos is on second with his double. Adams fouls off the first pitch. It's an 0-1 count to him with just 1 out. Here comes the next pitch from Fromber. That one's high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adams walked his last at bat in the first inning and was able to score on the home run. Here comes the next pitch from Valdez. 1-1. Oh, that one's good. Could have gone either way. High in the zone, but it was called strike. So the count's 1-2. 1-2. Here comes the 45th pitch by Valdez. That is a nice looking pitch right there. Curveball on the outside corner for strike 3. Valdez picks up a K, and that's out number 2. Adams goes down. That brings up Wilmer Flores. Here comes the first pitch to him. Ooh, 79 mile per hour curveball right in there for strike 1. Flores is the one with the 2-run homer in the first inning to start the scoring for the Giants. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and that is a kind of a generous call, up and in, but called strike 2. So the count's 0-2 in favor of Valdez and the Astros. Runner on second, 2 outs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Flores. Just barely misses on the outside edge. A little bit of a curve ball there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Stros. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Valdez. Oh, a swing and a miss on a nasty curveball. The bottom just fell out of that one, and it was a big miss. The home run hitter from the first inning couldn't handle it in the second inning, but Fromber is really working hard right now. He's up to getting close to 50 pitches already in just 2 innings. He came off the mound wiping off a ton of sweat. And if he continues at this rate, I don't expect that he'll make it past the 4th inning. If he calms down here, I think best case scenario is that he makes it through 6. But he's already burned himself up a lot. He's given up 5 runs, 3 hits, and he's up to nearly 50 pitches, guys. 50 pitches. Poor Valdez. Who's pitching for the Giants here? I don't even know. I didn't have time to update any of that. I'll get it for you in just a minute. Got 4 people following along right now. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really do appreciate you stopping in. Normally I would be able to have some short clips of the highlights, and I will be doing that soon enough. I'm unable to do it right now just because of prep time. I need a little more prep time than what I had today. The short version is that I finished my Japanese language school a couple of weeks ago. I'm waiting on my new visa here in Japan right now. My girlfriend just left last night to go to Tokyo for a couple of days to see her friends, and then she's flying to Kagoshima to attend a business school. So I've been busy spending time with her over the past couple of weeks, and that's why I haven't done any games. I just haven't had time. I've been spending time with her. Root puts the first pitch in there for a strike on Christian Walker. It's 0-1. Just 17 pitches for Root compared to almost 50 for Valdez. Low and away on that curveball. The count is even to Christian Walker. Walker batting only 150 over the past 5 games this season. That pitch is a little low. Check swing. They checked with first base. They say he didn't go. 2-1. It'd be nice to get a leadoff runner. That one's kind of muscled off into the right side, but it's off the net. Out of play. Strike 2. 2-2. It looked like more of a defensive swing than anything, and then Walker hit it opposite field, fouled it off. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on that curveball. 78 miles an hour, just dropped right in there. It was a good pitch. It was a strike either way. It was a good pitch. Walker just couldn't get his bat on it. First out. That leads to Yainer Diaz. Good old Yainer. Coming to the plate. For anyone listening, I appreciate you being here right now. As you can see by the background, I'm not in the U.S. I am still in Hiroshima. Diaz, in the last 4 games, is just batting .071. First pitch to him is out for a ball. Second pitch is outside for a ball. 2-0. Let's see if Yainer can get himself on base. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Little low. Good take by Yainer. 3 balls and no strikes. He's way ahead in the count. Next pitch. Just barely clips the low inside corner. Yainer was taken all the way. He thought he had a walk. It was close, but it did clip the edge. Perfect pitch from Root. 3 balls and 1 strike to Diaz. Here comes the pitch. He flies that one out to left field, but it's going to be playable for out number 2. Should be, and it is. That's put away by Ramos. Lazy fly ball to left field. 2 away, still no hits for the Astros. Speaking of hits, that brings up Jeremy Pena. He's only batting .125 for the season in the first 5 games, but he was on fire in spring training, batting .475. 94 way inside, taken for ball 1. A powerful yet patient Pena hitter would be so nice this season, wouldn't it? And that one's opposite. That pitch 94 miles an hour way outside. So first of all, way inside, then way outside. Ball 2. 2 outs, 2-0 pitch to Pena. Low and away. 3 balls. Roop starting Pena off just like he did Yiner with 3 straight balls. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Pena. Pena takes that one outside. He gets a walk. 4-pitch walk. Good job by Pena. That last pitch didn't clip the corner like it did with Diaz, and we actually have a base runner and a fast one too with Pena going to first base. That brings up Brendan Rodgers. Here's the first pitch from Roop. A little high and outside for ball 1. That's 5 straight balls from Roop. It's time for the Astros to start getting hits and chipping away at that lead. 5-0 here in the second. That one's just a little low. Could have gone either way, but it's called ball 2. 2-0 against Rodgers. Bottom of the second. 2 outs. Pena on first. 2 balls and no strikes against Brendan Rodgers. Huff, the Giants catcher, takes a little stroll out to the mound. He's going to have a little chit-chat, a little heart-to-heart with Root. Try to get him straightened out. He's thrown 6 straight balls so far. Not to mention the other 3 that he threw before that. Maybe he starts having some trouble. Could be a good sign for the Stros. 2 balls, no strikes. Brendan Rodgers with 2 outs and Pena on first. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that one was just barely off or on the edge, the outside edge. Strike 1, 93 miles an hour. Astros taking a lot of pitches now. Roop about to deliver his 34th pitch. 78 miles an hour curveball. That one's in there for a strike. Rodgers still not swinging, and the count is now even. 2-2. Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's low. Pena's stealing, and he gets it. He gets second base, and it's going to be a full count on Rodgers as Pena easily gets second. The throw was way off by the catcher, but it wouldn't have mattered. Pena got a good jump and was easily able to get that base. Stolen base for Pena. We got a runner in scoring position. I think I'm still kind of asleep right now. It's about 5:50 in the morning here. Here comes the full count pitch to Rodgers. Check swing, did he go? They say he did not. That's going to be a walk. Great. Astros have 2 runners on. That's going to bring to the plate Zach DeCenzo. DeCenzo comes to the plate with an opportunity to give the Astros some runs. I wouldn't mind a 3-run shot into the Crawford boxes right now by DeCenzo. Pull us back within 2 runs. That would be nice. 2 outs, 2 runners on first and second. The Astros threatening to get some runs on the board. Still no hits. See if DeCenzo can get the first one. He hits this up the middle. Is it going to drop? It is. It's going to drop in. That's going to be a run. Pena comes around to score finally. Thank God. The Astros get a run on the board with their first hit from Zach DeCenzo. The young guy does it. The very first pitch. Just rips it right up the middle. Nice soft liner. Yep. He just walked up there like he was all about the business. Astros didn't have to hold up to see if it was going to drop. So Pena easily scored. Runners still on first and second. 5-1. The Astros get a run on the board. Now we just need 5 more to take this game. Chas McCormick comes to bat. First pitch from Roop on the way. Swing and a miss. 78 mile per hour curveball. Strike 1 against Pena. Not Pena, I'm sorry. I'm looking at some stats on the board here. Against McCormick, that is. Got runners on first and second. Here comes the next pitch to McCormick. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's starting to get too warm in here. I can turn that heater off. All right, guys, 1-1 with 2 outs, 2 runners on. McCormick at the plate. Here's the pitch. Ooh, right in the middle of the plate. 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Chaz Rightly goes after it, but fouls it away. They're making Root work a lot harder now. He's up to 40 pitches. Speaking of pitches, here's the next one. Aw, swing and a miss on the outside. That one was way outside the zone by a good foot. Looked like a sweeper to me. McCormick couldn't help himself. He went around. And that's going to end the inning for the Astros, but they come away with 1 run. Finally get a hit from Zach DeCenzo with 2 runners on, scoring Pena from second. 5-1 Astros. I hope everyone is doing all right. I appreciate you being here. A lot of things have changed recently. Currently, I am still in a little town called Onomichi. Onomichi is in eastern Hiroshima Prefecture. For those of you who didn't know, Hiroshima is not just a city. It is the capital city in a larger area, a prefecture of Japan called Hiroshima. A long, long time ago, this area used to be divided up into several different names, several different areas. For example, Aki, I think they were actually provinces, Aki province, Bingo province. But over time, they all kind of consolidated into one big prefecture, and that is called Hiroshima. In the east end of that is where Onomichi is. Onomichi is a small town that is part of the Seto Inland Sea. So just about a 10-minute drive south of here from my home is the sea. But there are many islands to the south, and so when you go down there, you see the sea, but many islands, so you can't see the main open sea from here. But that's where I'm at today, and that's where I've been for the past year or so, studying Japanese. But I just finished, and now I am ready to call these games again. Valdez back on the mound facing Matt Chapman. Here's the first pitch to him, fouled away. 90 miles per hour, changeup in the dirt almost. Really fooled him. 0-1 is the count, and that's 50 pitches exactly, right on the button for Valdez. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, that one was a nice pitch. They say he went around, a check swing. Chapman just couldn't help himself. That ball curved and dropped so much it went into the dirt. Strike 2. Good way to start the inning. Let's get a K here, Valdez. You need that ego boost. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Oh, right on. Oh my gosh, that was such a good pitch. Right on the outside corner. It was in the zone. Called ball 1. 1-2. Valdez will try again here for that third strike. Here comes the pitch. That one's right up the middle. Backhanded by Brendan Rodgers, who fires way over the head of first baseman. And they're going to give him second base. They're going to give Chapman second base because of Rodgers' massive overthrow. It was a beautiful catch. Chapman hit it right up the middle. Rodgers did a great job catching it up the middle. But when he took the throw to first base, it was just a terribly wild throw. Ball got stuck over on the side, maybe in the dugout somewhere. So they gave Chapman second. Casey Schmidt now at the plate. No outs, runner on second. He fouls that one away for strike one. Man, that was an unfortunate play. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Schmidt. This one's tapped foul behind the plate for strike two, 0-2. No chance for a traditional double play here with the runner on second. 4 hits off of Fromber and 5 runs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Schmidt. Swing and a miss. There's the strikeout. There we go. Curveball, 82 miles an hour, right in the bottom of the zone. Would have been a strike either way. Perfectly placed pitch by Fromber Valdez. What a beautiful pitch. It looked like it was going straight into the strike zone, and it just dropped. Traditional Fromber Valdez as Schmidt swings and almost loses his helmet. One away. Luis Matos comes to the plate. He bounces one to third at a shortstop, and he goes to Paredes at third. And Brendan Rodgers, they get him in the hot box, and he gets the tag. Brendan Rodgers gets the tag and then drops the ball after he gets the tag, but they say he was out. Let me back up and say that again. It sounded a little confusing. Matos swung on the first pitch, bounced it to Pena. Pena went straight to third to Paredes to get Chapman in the hot box, and when they threw it to Rodgers, he was able to get the tag on Chapman and then drop the ball, but it didn't matter. He was out. Now 2 outs, runner on first. Matos was not able to advance to second, even though Rodgers dropped that ball. So that's where we are now, guys. 2 outs, runner on first. Sam Huff at the plate. He lined out his last at bat. It was a hard hit ball to third. Here comes the first pitch. Fouled away, 94 mile per hour sinker. Got 5 people following along right now. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping in. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Fromber facing Sam Huff. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Diaz. It's strike 2. Valdez looking a lot sharper right now. Nothing but ground balls this inning and strikeouts. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Can he get that third strike and another K? Oh, he does, right in there. Caught looking, froze his butt. As we used to say back in high school, he left his jockstrap hanging in the rafters on that one. Strike 3, and that is the inning for the Giants. I can clear these base runners, I believe. How about that? Boom. Let's see if there's some info I can change on the screen here. Opposing team logo. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just looking at some information on my screen here. Moving some things around. Oh yeah, they inducted Ichiro Suzuki into the Hall of Fame not long ago. That's good to hear. I like Ichiro. I actually like him a lot more than I like Ohtani. The main reason I don't like Ohtani is because he's in Los Angeles playing for the Dodgers. That would be the only reason I don't like Ohtani, other than I do really believe he's overpaid. I know that some people will get really shocked or hurt about that, but it's just true. I mean, Playing a game. Who knows if he'll ever really pitch again? Paying him so much just to be a DH. It's just not worth it. My hero, my baseball hero, comes to the plate. Jose Altuve. Doing pretty good for the season. One strikeout for Altuve. Here's the first pitch from Root. Altuve goes after it and just fouls it off down the third baseline. 88-mile-per-hour changeup. Bounces harmlessly foul. Bottom of the third, Astros down 5-1. This one's hit to the left side. It's going to be a tough play, but he's able to make it. He fires over and gets Altuve at first by good 3 steps. Good play by Chapman over at third. I believe that's Chapman playing third for the Giants. If I'm incorrect on that, you can torch me in the chat. Parade is at the plate now with one away. He gets under that one and skies it way up. Left fielder and shortstop are out, but the left fielder calls him off. Ramos. He takes it for out number 2, just like that. 2 outs. Yordan Alvarez comes to the plate. He struck out his last at bat. Not a stellar plate appearance by Alvarez. Alvarez is just darn cold right now so far this season. His average is .059, guys. He's not even batting 100. He's barely batting 50 for the season. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Next one is a little high. Ball 1. 89 miles per hour on that cutter. 1-1 with 2 outs. That's right. 2 outs. Low and away. Ball 2. Yordan Alvarez had a nice double the other day, but other than that, I haven't seen much. Now there's a hit. Line drive to the right side between the first baseman and second baseman. Alvarez finally does something. Second hit of the game for the Astros. Another base runner with 2 outs. Kind of reminiscent of last year when the Astros did this a lot. With 2 outs, they start getting base runners. I don't mind them getting base runners anytime, guys. I just wish that they would start getting base runners and move them around a little earlier. That brings up Christian Walker. First pitch is a little low and outside, but called strike 1. Right on the edge of the zone. He's batting .143 so far this season. He struck out his last at bat. 0-1. 2 outs. Yordan on first. Swing and a miss with a ball in the dirt. 0-2. You're Christian Walker, not Christian Striker. 0-2. 50 pitches now for Root. Here comes the next pitch. Way outside in the dirt. That's going to be ball 1. 1-2. 7 people following along. Good to see you here today. This is my first full game back. Well, I say full game. I missed the top of the first inning when the Giants got their first 2 runs on the board. Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Walker. Check swing, did he go? They say he did. That'll be strike 3 on a ball in the dirt. Walker strikes out again, and the Astros strand 1 as Yordan's single comes to nothing. The Astros have 2 hits now to the Giants' 4 hits. The Giants lead the game 5-1. The Astros are down by 4. Valdez is due back up on the mound in just a moment. He'll be facing Mike Yastrzemski, I believe. All right, now let's see if I can do a little more work on my screen here and try to update. Some of the stuff is just out of style on my screen. It's very interesting. A lot of things have changed, like I said, over the past year or so. But I am happy to be back here calling the Astros game today. Any new people that haven't been to my channel, welcome. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. Really nice to have you around today. I'm a little rusty, I think, right now, but I'll get the hang of it. I'll get things straightened out. I'm going to have a new look for you for the next game. And what is that next game going to be? Let's take a look at the schedule, the Astros schedule here. They should be going on the road here really soon. Yeah, that's right. At Minnesota. Tomorrow. All right, here we go. Valdez back on the mound facing Mike Yastrzemski. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, good pitch. Foul tip. 93 mile per hour sinker on the inside. Swing and a foul tip for strike one. Yastrzemski with a walk, a run, and a stolen base so far this game. Another one in the same spot. Fouled away to the opposite field down the third baseline. Strike two. Valdez jumps out to a lead. Oh, the sun is coming up. It is now about 10 after 6 in the morning here. Here comes the 63rd pitch from Valdez. Right in there, but fouled off again. Count remains 0-2. Valdez doesn't look as sweaty and tired as he was before. That's a good sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Yastrzemski. That was hit hard to right field. Is it going to be playable? DeCenzo makes a diving catch, and he comes up smiling. Valdez is nodding and pointing out to right field. What a beautiful catch by Zach DeCenzo. He just lays out on that line drive shot. He didn't have too much time to get over there, but man, talk about getting there just in time with the basket catch, diving grab for out number one. What a good catch. Out number one. First pitch to Fitzgerald is a fouled ball to the back screen for strike one. Still watching some of those highlights of DeCenzo's catch. That was great. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. 80 miles an hour right in the zone. Fouled away again. 0-2. Valdez really dealing right now. Getting out consistently. Last inning in this one out to an 0-2 lead in the count. No runners on here in the top of the fourth. One away. 0-2. Is the count. Here comes the pitch from Valdez. Fitzgerald fouls that one off. It bounces off of Yiner. Count remains 0-2. No balls. 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Fitzgerald. Long pause by Valdez. Valdez gets a timer violation. That's going to be ball one. He waited a really, really long time. Yiner tried to call timeout, but the umpire says no can do. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the actual pitch to Fitzgerald. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball gets him for out number 2. Make that another K on a beautiful pitch by Valdez. Comes back after that Pitch clock violation. That brings up Ramos, Helio Ramos. Check swing, strike one, they say. He went around 96 miles an hour on that pitch. Another strike from Valdez. Here comes the second pitch. Ooh, right in there. 80 miles an hour curveball on that outside edge. And once again, an 0-2 count. Valdez is just burning it up right now. Curveball, low and inside, swing and foul ball. Count remains 0-2. Man. He picks up a K right here. This is going to be a really nice inning for him. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Ramos fouls that one off. 97 right in the zone. Count remains 0-2. Top of the fourth, looking to move it into the bottom and let the Astros have another chance to bring this game a little closer. Here's the pitch from Valdez. Swing and a miss. Another K, guys. A beautiful curveball, low and inside. It started off in the zone. Nasty. Man, Valdez has some of these curveballs that are just insane. He throws them. Sometimes it looks like it's going straight in the zone, and then the bottom falls out. And then sometimes he throws these curveballs that look like that one, where it's going straight into the zone, and then it not only drops, but it goes inside. I mean, how can you hit that kind of a pitch? If he had started the game like he's pitching right now, like he's been pitching the past 2 innings, this game would be 0-1 Astros easily. The Giants would be lucky to have 1 hit with him pitching like this. So after his really rocky first couple of innings, giving up a couple of home runs, giving up some walks, Framber Valdez has just really locked in, and he's on fire right now. Let's see what time the game is tomorrow, guys. Ooh, the next 3 games in Minnesota are really, they're difficult for me. 5:10 in the morning for game 1. Game 2 and game 3, 3:10 in the morning. I have to get up no later than 3 o'clock for game 2 and game 3. Insane. Hunter Brown is due on the mound for tomorrow's game. It looks like I can do that game, and then I'll have to go to Hiroshima City. Still got 6 people following along. Got up as high as 9. I appreciate everyone being here. It's nice to see you. We're going into the bottom of the 4th. The Astros down 5-1. Diaz at the plate takes a big swing at the first pitch, almost in the dirt, 88 miles an hour. That actually was in the dirt. They tossed the ball away. Strike 1. Here's the next pitch. That one's also low, but taken for ball 1. The count is even. Yonder's 0-for-1 today. Here comes a 1-1 pitch from Root. That was also low. He's staying low on Yiner for some reason. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. That one's not only low, but off the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike. Diaz almost got a walk his last at bat. Here's 3-1. That's hit up the middle. It was right in the zone. Shortstop cuts it off and fires the first, but Diaz is able to get there. The throw wasn't that great. It looks like they might have been able to get him, but the throw was so bad. Yiner's going to get a hit. Are they going to label it a hit or an error? Let's see. Yeah, the second baseman was there, but the shortstop cut it off, and he fired on a 1-hop to Schmidt. Schmidt couldn't handle it at first base. Yiner will be on. But it's looking like even if the throw had gotten there, Yiner was on first base. It's going to count as the third hit for the Astros. We've got a base runner with no outs and Jeremy Pena at the plate. Here comes the first pitch to him. He grounds that to third. They're going to say that that's a foul ball. It's just barely foul. That would have been close to a double play, but just barely foul. Pena will get another chance here. He walked his last at bat, was able to score the Astros' only run so far, and he picked up a stolen base as well. Now let's see if he can light up the bat here. Put some fire on that ball. Here comes the pitch from Roop, 0-1. Pena takes that one low and inside for ball one. The count is even. Astros looking a lot more awake this inning at the plate than before. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. 93 right in that outside corner, taken for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yiner camped out over there for now on first base. No outs. 60 pitches now for Root. Here comes the pitch. 78 mile per hour curveball. Pena couldn't handle it. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. If he had stayed in the box, he probably could have put the bat on it. But that'll be out number 1. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. I guess I can put the base runner on there. Here comes the first pitch to Rodgers. Nope. Root fires over to first instead. Yiner is back. We'll do a little reset and see the first pitch to Rodgers likely. And it's on the way. He swings the very first pitch and sends it way up in the air out in the right field. Should be an easy play, and it is. That's out number 2. 1 pitch, 2 outs. Rodgers walks to the dugout as Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate. DeCenzo made a really good catch on a line drive hit at the beginning of the inning, at the top of the inning. He's also got the only RBI in the game so far with a single that scored Pena. First pitch he takes 93 on the inside for ball 1. 2 outs. Yiner on first. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to DeCenzo. Low and away. Ball 2. Good eye by DeCenzo. Not swinging at that curveball that struck out Pena. Two balls, no strikes. Root goes to first base. Yiner gets back. Two and 0 with 2 outs. Root comes set. Here's the pitch to DeCenzo. Low and inside, could have been ball 3. Fouled off. Strike 1, 2-1. If DeCenzo does something here, Root will be facing Chas McCormick, the 9th hitter, with Jose Altuve due up after that. 2-1, here's the pitch. Right in there, but fouled away again. 93 mile per hour sinker. And the count is even, 2-2. Can DeCenzo do it again? Can he become the RBI man this game? I wouldn't complain about that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away again. 77 low and away on that curveball. Similar curveball that struck out Pena. But he's able to get the bat on it and stay alive. Count remains 2-2. Looks like we've got Hunter Brown, Spencer Arrighetti, and Blanco coming up for the next 3 games against Minnesota. Here's the next pitch. 88 miles an hour, right in the low part of the zone. Count remains 2-2. Here comes the next pitch from Roop. DeCenzo check swing. They say he went around. It didn't look like he went around, but we know that they won't be changing that call. That's strike 3 and out number 3. The Astros go down after just one base runner, one hit from Diaz. So after 4 complete innings, the Astros are down 5-1. Still haven't heated up with the bats yet. 4 hits for the Giants, 3 hits for the Astros. Astros with 1 error in this game. And I can remove the base runner there. We have no more base runners. Can't seem to find some of my files. For some reason, some of my files just appear to be missing. Still trying to get some things in order so I can have everything nice and clean and laid out for you guys. Just haven't had as much time to do that. Getting everything in order here, but that's all good. We're going into the top of the 5th. Valdez still on the mound. He'll be facing Willie Adams again, who's 0 for 1. Valdez kicks the dirt around a little bit on the mound. It looks like he's content. He's looking up for the first pitch, and here it comes. Right in there, 93 in the bottom of the zone. A sweet looking sinker for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch is about 10 inches too far inside, taken for ball 1. 1-1. Oh, I just heard it. This is Willie Adames. I've been pronouncing his name as Adams. Adames. Swing and a miss on that sinker way outside. Fooled him big time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fromber ahead in the count again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That was in the dirt. That was a nice looking curve, but it just started off too low. And that evens the count, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Adames. Another curveball, but too far inside. Surprised he didn't go on that one, but the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Ooh, right in the top of the zone. A beautiful curveball. Adames thought that was a ball. He complains a little bit to the umpire. He thought that was a walk for sure, but that was a perfectly placed curveball right in the top of the zone, and Fromber gives himself a nice smack on the leg with his glove. Very happy with that pitch. Strike 3 and out number 1. Next pitch is put on the ground by Flores, who wastes no time swinging. Grounded directly to Pena, who fires to first for out number 2, just like that. 2 away. 80 pitches now for Valdez. Matt Chapman comes back to the plate. He had a single his last at bat that turned into a double due to an error on a throw by Rogers. First pitch to him was way outside of the zone for ball 1. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Low and inside, ball 2. Curveball missing way off the plate and low. No runners on, 2 outs. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fouled away to the right side by Chapman. That'll be strike 1. 2-1. Thanks for being here, everyone. Normally I would show you some clips of the game, some little highlights here and there. I don't have that set up yet, but I'll take care of that in the future. 95 miles an hour, up and away for ball 3. As I'm trying to make my second cup of coffee here. Here comes the pitch. 3-1 pitch. Right in there, strike 3. I'm sorry, strike 2. I got ahead of myself there. Full count. I was so excited about that, I just went straight to the strikeout. Full count, guys. 2 outs. This is a chance for another good inning for Fromber. Here's the pitch to Chapman. Good curveball, but he's able to get a piece of it. Foul it off. Stays alive, 3-2. My girlfriend should be about 2.5 hours away from Tokyo right now. She took the overnight bus from Okayama to Tokyo. That's a long way. About a 6.5 hour bus ride. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Chapman. That's low inside off the dirt. He's going to take that for ball 4. So he doesn't get a clean inning here. 1 walk. With the extra batter, this could very likely be Fromber's last inning and last batter. We'll see. Is anybody warming up in the pen yet? Not yet. I'm surprised. Casey Schmidt comes to the plate. He's got 2 strikeouts against Valdez today. Here's the first pitch. He hits that one straight to Pena. It's backhanded. He fires to first. What a great pick at first by Christian Walker. He scoops it out of the dirt to get out number 3. Pena with a low throw. Man, that was really, really close. That could have been another base runner. But instead it turns into out number 3. And the Astros are out of the inning. Man. What an amazing play that was. Pena with the backhand and low throw, but Walker just scoops it out like it's nothing. Let's see here. Who is coming up for the Astros? It should be Chaz, the Chazmanian Devil. We haven't seen the Chazmanian Devil in a while. We've just seen regular old Chaz McCormick. He's 0 for 1 today, but he's batting .400 for the season. It sounds great, but he hasn't had many at-bats. It would be nice to see Chaz come back and have a stellar season. I'm not completely sold yet. I haven't been sold on McCormick in quite a while. I was feeling last year that they should have just sent him down to the minors and replaced him with somebody else. His batting average just kept going down and down and down and down until it was like 180. And I predicted that, unfortunately. But I'm feeling a little hopeful. He's not looking bad the little bit that I've seen him this year. Maybe he can provide a little spark for the Astros. Who knows? We'll see. He comes to the plate. 0-1 for the day, but he might do something here. He shows bunt and takes the pitch low in the zone for a strike. 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Landon Root is still in the game on the mound for the Giants. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside for ball one. Good take by McCormick. 1-1. 71 pitches now for Root. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Way outside. Another good take by McCormick. Good at bat so far. Being patient at the plate so far. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Ooh, low and away. Good take. McCormick making Root really work here. 3 balls and 1 strike. Altuve on deck. Here comes the pitch. Way inside, ball 4. Awesome. McCormick with a walk. 4 balls, 1 strike. Great at bat by McCormick, not swinging at any of that garbage. Very proud of you, McCormick, for that at bat. You didn't look like a fool at all. You look like a pro, which is good because this is the pro league, my friend. Jose Altuve. Most home runs all time. That's an interesting stat. People who are 5'7" or shorter, Jose Altuve is on that list in the top 5. He swings at the first pitch again, completely misses it for strike 1, 0-1. Come on, Altuve, show me why you're my hero. Remind me again, as if I need a reminder. That ball's in the dirt for ball 1. Good take. Count is even, 1-1. Altuve had his first home run of the season in the last game. It was the only run the Astros scored. 1-run shot by Altuve. Sad that I missed that. Here comes the next pitch, rather. The first pitch. He hits that one straight up to the pitcher. There's little doubt about who's going to take it, and it's dropped. Nobody gets it. An infield fly ball between the pitcher and the catcher. The pitcher, the catcher, and the third baseman all merge. The third baseman, Chapman, comes sliding in there to try to catch it. It bounces off of his glove, and nobody gets it. That's crazy. Altuve hit it straight up, and he didn't think he was going to be able to get anything out of it. And that was like a comedy of errors on the Giants there. Astros have runners on first and second now. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Root walked in on that fly ball. Catcher walked out. Nobody really committed to catching it. And then the third baseman, Chapman, just came running in, sliding in, and it bounced off his glove. He wasn't able to make the catch. So Altuve is going to be on first base. Are they going to call that a hit? They give Altuve a hit. Why not? Altuve's batting average goes up to 381. He's the only fire in the offense for the Astros this season so far. I'm not surprised. He's the man. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. He did have an almost home run earlier. That ball's in the dirt for ball 1. Man. The Giants. Their infield comedy. That was nice. 2 runners on, no outs. 1 ball, no strikes to Paredes. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, lower outside corner on that sinker. Strike 1. The count is even. One pitch to Paredes is on the way. He's ripped that one down the left side. Just barely foul. That would have been an extra base hit. Ooh, that was almost in the corner. But instead of to be strike 2, yet another almost hit. Almost big hit by Paredes. Wow, it just missed being fair by a couple of inches. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Roop. No, he comes off the mound instead, makes a fake throw to second. McCormick on second base. Altuve on first. Astros looking to cut that lead down. Paredes steps out of the box to take his timeout. Straightens his shirt up a little bit. Steps back in the box. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Root. That was in the dirt. Good take by Paredes. Counts even, 2-2. It's amazing that they gave Altuve that fly ball. They gave that to him as a hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Paredes takes it way outside and low. Good one. 3. Whoa, excuse me. 3-2 is the count with Yordan Alvarez on deck, guys. We might have bases loaded with Alvarez at the plate. Here comes the next pitch. Low and away, ball 4. We've got it. Bases loaded with no outs. Yordan Alvarez comes to the plate, guys. Well, that's going to be it for Rube. They're going to pull him out. 83 pitches. They're going to go ahead and take him out of the game. He's not able to get through 5. Not able to get through 5. That's interesting. Despite having given up only 1 run, Root is not going to make it through this inning. Let's see who the Giants have coming in the game. Pitchers for San Francisco. Don't know yet. Don't know who the pitcher is, but I'll update that just as soon as he comes in. The bases are loaded for the Astros here in the bottom of the 5th. Yordan Alvarez is at the plate with no outs. Bases loaded. The bases are juiced for Alvarez. Perfect opportunity for the Astros to finally get a big hit. Set the tone for the rest of the season. How awesome would it be for Yordan to get the grand slam right here, tie up this game in just 1 swing? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't complain about that at all. Astros have a 3-game series on the road. Their first coming up starting tomorrow. They'll have a game in Minnesota, and then they'll have 1 day off, and then 2 more games to wrap up that series before moving on to Seattle. I plan to be here for all 3 of those games, even though the timing of those games is a little inconvenient. Game number 1 is at 5 in the morning, 5:10 in the morning for me. But man, game 2 and game 3, 3 o'clock in the morning. Whew, difficult stuff. Yordan Alvarez steps into the box, kicks the dirt around a little bit, does a little shimmy, gets set. Randy Rodriguez is on the mound for the Giants, about to deliver the first pitch. 86 miles an hour, just a little far in, but calling strike 1. Nice looking slider. Alvarez lays off, not what he was looking for. Strike 1. Here comes the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Alvarez was thinking he was going to launch on it, but a pretty bad swing on a bad pitch. Alvarez does have 4 grand slams, batting .375 for his career with bases loaded. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way high, 99 miles an hour. Way out of the zone. Alvarez takes that one. for ball one. All we need is just any type of hit from Alvarez, but a grand slam would be the best, obviously. Here's the pitch. Hit hard to the right side, and it's through for a hit. That's going to score at least one. Looks like two. Absolutely, it's going to score McCormick and Altuve. 2 runs for Alvarez. That was a rocket off the bat, off the glove of the first baseman. He wasn't able to handle it. It just shot out into right field. That's going to go down as a hit for Alvarez. Yeah, the first baseman, Schmidt, he tried to backhand it on a one-hop, and he couldn't handle it. It was just too much for him. I wonder if they're going to call that a hit. It should be a hit. That was a rocket. Astros pull within 2 runs. It's 5-3. Walker comes up and he swings on the first pitch, hits it way out to left field. Might be some drama here. Chapman makes the catch around third base in the foul territory, so that'll be out number 1. Runners on the corners. Paredes on third, Jordan on first, 1 away on that fly foul ball by Walker. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. He does have a single today. 1 for 2 so far this game. I think I can change my runners on the bases. There we go. 5-3 Astros. 1 out, runners in the corners. First pitch to Yainer is on the inside corner, 98 miles an hour, strike 1. Wow. Last year, Yainer Diaz had a ton of sacrifice flies. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, way outside, 99 miles an hour. The catcher barely got his glove on that one. Count is even, 1-1. Rodriguez is putting some meat on the ball, but those fastballs are a little out of control. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, 1 out. Diaz swings that one in the dirt. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Diaz. Here comes the pitch from Rodriguez. Oh, 99. That was a good pitch right on the inside corner. Yainer Diaz could not handle it. I wouldn't say that Diaz is particularly strong with handling those really fast fastballs, at least from the games that I watched last year, which was most of them. Diaz wasn't really good at handling the fastball, and that'll be out number 2 with that strikeout. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. He does have a walk today, and he was able to score after a stolen base. 5-3 Astros. Here's the pitch. 99 in the low outer portion. That's what happens when you try to say 2 words at the same time. Outer lower portion of the plate. 0-1. Here's the pitch to Pena. Same exact spot, 98 miles an hour, taken for strike 2, 0-2. Come on, Pena. Just put it in the outfield. Just a single. I mean, a home run would be great. It would give him the lead. Let's do that. Let's do the 3-run shot. Oh, he takes the swing, but he misses it. That's going to be it for the Astros this inning, but they come away with 2 more guys. So Astros do pick up another hit, 2 more runs. We pull this game a little closer. It's 5-3 with the Giants leading. The Astros and the Giants both now have 1 error. And 4 hits. Anything going on in the chat? Not right now. We've got about 5 people following along. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you. Big cry from where I was last year at this time. And Actually, I didn't even have my channel going at this time last year. But when I did get my channel going, sometimes I got as high as 50 or 60, maybe even, I think 65 might have been about the record of number of viewers at the same time. So that was nice. It feels a little weird right now, only having a few. Having less than 10 watching at the same time is a little interesting compared to last year, but it makes sense. I haven't done any videos in a while. Haven't called any games. Right now we are going into the top of the 6th. Speaking of games, the Giants leading the Astros 5-3 in Game 3, threatening to sweep this series if the Astros don't score more runs. But they have been showing life at the plate, and it is now a 2-run game. I believe the Astros can still win this game. Valdez does manage to finish 5 innings, and they pull him out for Luis Contreras. Contreras has been pitching really, really well over 9 games from the spring till now. He hasn't given up a single run in 9.2 innings. First pitch is a little off the plate, 92-mile-per-hour fastball. He's facing Luis Matos. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled up on the right side. Is it going to be playable? DeCenzo runs over and he slides, but he's not able to make the play close to the wall. It's all right. The ball hit the net anyway, close to the wall. One and one. Here comes the pitch from Contreras. Oh, way over the head of Matos. That was like 3 feet over Matos's head. He's laughing about that. It looks like Contreras just lost his handle on that ball, and it was way over everyone's head. Ball 2. He throws another one almost in the same spot, but Yiner's able to get his glove on that one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Contreras has just lost his control over the last 2 pitches for some reason. Leadoff batter threatening to walk. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That one's in there. Swing and a miss. 84-mile-per-hour slider. Full count. I'm not ashamed to say I need myself a bathroom break. Maybe I can quickly run after this inning is over. We'll see. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Matos. Another one way high. That was a good 2 feet out of the zone, if not more. And that'll be a leadoff walk for Contreras. Looks like Contreras is having some control issues. 3 of those pitches were not only way out of the zone, one of those was uncatchable. There was nothing Yiner could have done to catch one of those. Sam Huff comes to the plate. He lined out and struck out his last 2 at-bats. Batting 0 for the season. That pitch is right on the outside corner, but just outside for ball 1. That was not a bad pitch. Fastball just missing by about 2 inches. Runner on first base. No outs. Contreras dealing to Sam Huff. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 84-mile-per-hour slider. Bounced foul down the third base side. Strike 1. The count is even. Welcome to everyone who is listening. For those of you who've been listening for a while, a double thank you. For those of you who are going to stick around for a while, a double thank you. Next pitch, a little low and away, 91-mile-per-hour fastball, ball 2, 2-1. Astros currently are 2-3 for the season. They were 2-1. Started the year off with a series win against the Mets and have dropped a couple against the Giants. Let's see if they can salvage this game. Swing and a miss. by Sam Huff on a slider way up in the zone by Contreras. The count is now even, 2-2. I really need to update some of my stuff. I need to get myself a new hat, a new shirt, some kind of background stuff. Ooh, low in the zone. Got him looking. That could have gone either way. Huff walks away complaining to the umpire, but we all know how that goes. It never does any good. It's just useless to complain or say anything. But it just barely nicked the bottom of the zone. It couldn't have been any more perfect than that. 92-mile-per-hour strikeout by Contreras. One away, runner on first. He's facing Mike Yastrzemski now. Wow, 85 miles an hour. They call that a strike. That was clearly a couple inches out of the zone, but Yiner framed it up, and the umpire said, all right, I like that. 0-1 is the count. I'm being generous to the Astros right now. That was in the dirt, and it's going to get away, and the runner will advance to second, no problem. So there's a runner in more easily scoring position than before. Yiner tried to backhand that one. Wasn't able to catch it. Count is even, 1-1 with one out, runner on second. Here's the pitch to Yastrzemski from Contreras. That one is in there. Beautiful pitch, a changeup, 83 miles an hour. Strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I need to update the runner. There we go. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, just barely outside. A little high and outside. That was a not bad pitch. But it will be ball 2. The count is even. Contreras comes set. Takes a look around. Here comes the pitch. Way inside. It's going to be a full count. 16 pitches now for Contreras. He's having to work a little bit to get out of this inning. Or to get through it, rather. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That was right in there, but fouled back by Yastrzemski. Count remains 3-2. 86-mile-per-hour sinker. I don't think I'm going to be in this town for very long. I think next month I should be moving back to my home in Toyosaka, which is in the countryside. Yastrzemski takes a timeout, steps out of the box. I might be getting the Starlink internet service out at my house in the countryside. I don't have any other internet options currently, so I can still call the games while I'm out there. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, strike 3. Beautiful pitch. What a beautiful pitch by Contreras. It couldn't have been, again, any more perfect. It was low and away inside that outer edge corner. Called strike 3. And just caught once again with his jockstrap hanging in the rafters. Whatever that means. Just love that expression. Tyler Fitzgerald comes to the plate with 2 outs, runner on second. First pitch is a little low for ball 1. Over 1 with a walk today. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Contreras. This will be his 20th pitch of the game. Long pause. Here's the delivery. This one's hit a line drive by caught by Pena. Diving to his right. Pena not only robs a hit from Fitzgerald, but also a run. What a good catch. And he caught it in the air before the ball could bounce. Out number 3 on a beautiful defensive play by Jeremy Pena. Pena had a wonderful catch the other day, a leaping grab in the very first inning. It was a great play. For those of you who haven't seen it, you could probably see the highlights online. but that play was good. We're going into the bottom of the sixth. The Astros had a rough start, Valdez giving up 2 runs and then 3 runs in the first and second inning. But since then, they put up 4 goose eggs against the Giants. Settled down after that, mostly. Astros didn't do much of anything in the first 4 innings, just 1 run off of a hit by Zach DeCinzo. Last inning, in the fifth, in the bottom of the fifth, they were able to put up 2 on a rocket single by Yordan Alvarez with bases loaded. Currently, the Stros are down by 2 runs, 5-3, in the bottom of the sixth. Randy Rodriguez might still be in the game. We'll see. He's going to be facing Brendan Rodgers, followed by Zach DeCinzo and Chas McCormick. These innings move by so quick. I really don't have any time to jump up and run to the bathroom. Maybe the 7th inning stretch. Between the top and the bottom of the inning, maybe I'll do that. Brendan Rodgers takes the first pitch low. He's going to be facing Hayden Birdsong. So the Giants have a new pitcher. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Rodgers watches that one go in for a strike on the outside edge. Perfectly placed pitch by Birdsong there. 1-1 is the count. 97 on that pitch. Broken bat single to center field. Holy cow. Brendan Rodgers got that one. A 91-mile-per-hour slider right in the top of the zone. Shattered his bat. But the Astros have a leadoff runner. Yeah. High and a little inside, but he was just able to get the bat around on it and muscle it into the outfield. How do you like that? Astros with a leadoff base runner on a hit. Astros now have more hits than the Giants. 5-4 in that category. Zach DeCinzo's back to the plate. He goes after the first one, 97 miles an hour. Swing and a miss. That was a good pitch to be swinging at, just couldn't make contact. 1 for 2 today. Batting .200 for the season so far. No home runs so far. 1 RBI. Here comes the pitch. Low and away, ball 1. 1-1 against DeCinzo. Chas on deck. Altuve in the hole. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to the left side. They're going to take it for a double play, but they're not going to be able to get it. DeCinzo manages to beat the throw at first, but Rodgers will be out at second. 1 away. Let's see if McCormick can do something. I'd love to see McCormick get a home run here for a couple of reasons. One, the main reason is that it would do such wonders for his confidence. The other thing is it would tie the game up. 98 high, ball 1. I think that McCormick just really needs to have a really big moment early in the season to kind of set the tone for himself. To have a turnaround season. Here's the pitch. 96 miles an hour. A little low and outside, but just barely clipped the zone. Strike 1. 1-1. Birdsong with some fire on these. Here's the next pitch, way outside. Another 98-mile-an-hour heater, but a good foot outside the zone. Once again, a good take by McCormick. Good eye so far. Haven't seen anything that was really worth swinging at. So 3 straight pitches. Good eye by McCormick. Same as last at bat. Waiting for that good pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. That one's in the dirt. 96 miles an hour, and that's going to be 3 balls. 3-1. Tiny crowd here at Daikin Park right now, but they're cheering a little bit. It dies down before the pitch, and here is the pitch. Right in the center of the plate, fouled away by McCormick. The count is full. 97 miles an hour. He was able to get around on it, but just fouled it off. Back into the crowd. Come on, McCormick. Big hit, man. Big hit for you, guy. Come on, I believe in you. Throw over to first base. DeCenzo's back. DeCenzo seems like a pretty tall guy. He's much taller than the Giants' first baseman, that's for sure. 3 balls, 2 strikes to McCormick. Here's the pitch from Birdsong. 97 right in there, but a swing and a miss. Chaz can't make contact with that one. I guess he was expecting an off-speed pitch. He's shaking his head as he goes to the dugout. That's unfortunate. That one was right in there, but I think McCormick just wasn't expecting the heat. I don't know why, because it seems like 90% of the pitches from that pitcher from Birdsong are fastballs. Altuve comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a run today. He swings at the first pitch, but that's high and inside, a complete swing and miss. He might have tipped it. Altuve's batting average just shy of 400. He's batting in the DH position today. Next pitch, hit to the right side. It's going to be through for a hit. DeCenzo is going to go to third. No problem. Altuve continuing his hot streak. Yeah. That's my hero, guys. A 2-hit game for Altuve. Chalk it up to yet another one. And he sticks the tongue out, the classic tongue stick, as he gets the hit to the right field side. Opposite field, just pokes it through that big gap. Now the Astros have runners on the corners. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. He had the almost home run in the very first inning. 2 outs, 2 runners on. First pitch, 96, right in there for strike 1. 6 hits for the Astros now. Can't complain about the hits so far. Just need to keep it going. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Birdsong. This one's hit hard to left field. Is it going to get out there? No, it's not. It's going to die and be caught by the center fielder. That's out number 3. The Astros come away with nothing, but man, what a performance by Altuve so far this season, guys. He's batting .409 right now. Jose Altuve is batting .409 for the season with 1 home run. How can you complain about that performance? All you can say is, where are the other Astros? Where are the other Astros hitters? Stros are back. Yeah, they are. They are definitely back. I'm not going to complain about the game so far, really, though. I mean, if you look at the stats, guys, the story here is that Framber started off with some trouble. He just didn't have his control in the first 2 innings, and the Giants made him pay. He gave up 5 runs, but after that, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th inning, he was just locked down. Gave up nothing. The Giants only have 4 hits. The Astros, on the other hand, have 7 hits right now. 7. But they've only converted 3 runs. So, not a lot of big hits, as in doubles and triples. But I can't complain. 7 hits in 6 innings. I can't complain about that. Even though they only have 3 runs on the board, I don't think that that's bad for 6 innings. If the average continues by the end of the game, let's see, they're averaging what? Yeah, they should be able to get 2 more runs. Astros should wind up with at least 5 runs this game if the trend continues. Ryan Gusto is now in the game for the Astros. This is his 2nd appearance for the Stros. In the spring, he played 4 games, had 2 starts for the Astros. First pitch is in there for strike 1. He's facing Helio Ramos. Fouled off the mask of Diaz. It didn't seem to bother him. That'll be strike 2. Gusto jumps out to the early lead in the count. 5-3 here in the top of the 7th. Ryan Gusto facing Ramos. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just barely missed on the outside edge. That's ball 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Gusto. 95 high, fouled away by Ramos. I'm looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning. And then a 7th inning stretch bathroom break. That's what I'm looking forward to. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Ramos. Taken for strike 3. 94 miles an hour. Right in the zone. Gusto starts off with a strikeout. 1 ball, 3 strikes. That was a perfect sinker right in there. Ramos couldn't argue about that. He just walked away. That's all you can do. Walk away. Willie Adames comes to the plate. The very first pitch, he hits it out into center field. McCormick is back. He'll get it on the warning track, right on the edge of the warning track. So, 1 swing from Adames, and that's out number 2. He gave it a ride out to the warning track, but McCormick was able to get there no problem. 2 away for the Astros and Gusto. Or they're saying Gusto. There's actually a chain restaurant here in Japan called Gusto. Or Gusto. However you want to say it. Here's the pitch. Wilmer Flores is at the plate. 94 mile per hour strike. 0-1 is the count. 1 for 3 today. He hasn't done anything after that home run in the first inning. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, right on the outside edge. Should have been a strike. But Yiner's movement to get it, I think, threw off the umpire, and that'll be ball 1. The count is even 1-1 with 2 outs, no runners on. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Flores. But 95 mile per hour on that pitch gets by him. Strike number 2. 1-2. We are 1 pitch away from a 7th inning stretch, and I'm going to run to the bathroom, guys. I'm going to get ready. Oh. Oh, that's crazy. Apparently it's a strikeout, guys. It's a strikeout. One of those pitches that was called a ball, they said it was a strike. They had the information wrong on screen, and suddenly the umpire's like, I don't know what's going on, but that's strike 3. And Flores was complaining about it, but it is what it is. So we'll be right back. The Astros get out of the inning. Gusto has a clean sheet, and we're in the 7th inning stretch. Be back in just a moment. Wow, guys, that was a really fast 7th inning stretch. Jordan just got a walk. 4 balls, 1 strike. He's facing Birdsong, who's still on the mound. That break was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. I apologize for that, but Alvarez draws the walk, leadoff walk, no outs. Christian Walker comes to the plate. He fouls that one straight back, a 96-mile-per-hour fastball from Birdsong. I really hate having to take bathroom breaks during the game because there's just not enough time. But I couldn't wait. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit hard down the right field side. That would have been all the way to the wall, possibly even a home run. But it was a good 20 yards or so into the audience there, the crowd. 0-2. Here's the pitch from Birdsong. Nope. Umpire calls timeout. Says it's a timer violation. That's going to be ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They say that the pitcher took way too long to deliver the pitch. I like how the umpire comes out of there like, you did something wrong, you did something wrong. And Walker swings and misses that one, 98 miles an hour in the top of the zone. Lackluster this game so far for Walker. He hasn't done anything. Here comes the pitch to Yiner. He fouls that one straight up. It looks like the catcher's going to have a play, and he gets it for out number 2. So just like that, we're 1 out away from being out of this inning. Alvarez leadoff walk is now on the shoulders of Jeremy Pena. Pena does have a home run, a nice line drive shot to the Crawford boxes this season. Another one right now would tie up this game. There's the first pitch from Birdsong. Oh man, another line drive shot, but right at the third baseman. He makes a good catch. He didn't have to move to get it though. And that's going to be it for this inning. 7 hits for the Astros, 4 hits for the Giants. Giants still up 5-3. We're going into the top of the 8th. We've got 2 more innings of baseball, guys. I've been sitting too much. My legs are trying to cramp up on me. At least my left leg is. Trying to straighten it out. I might have to get up and stretch it. We'll see. Actually, I think I am going to do that. Just get up and stretch it a little bit. I can still keep my headphones on. But I can get rid of these cramps a lot easier if I stretch my leg. There we go. Got about 8 people following along right now. I appreciate you being here. If you're wondering what's going on with with what I'm doing, I've got a little bit of a cramp in my left leg, so I'm just kind of stretching and working it out. I sit too much. And I have been dealing for the past couple of years with renal cancer, which is basically kidney cancer. And I am taking some new medicine, which I started about a year ago. It has helped me a lot, but my blood flow is still not so good. I don't know if you guys know how the blood flow works in the body, but essentially your heart is pumping it down. But in order for the blood flow to come back up, it requires on other methods to come back up. For example, the muscles in your legs and in your body help to move that blood back up. But that blood flow is hampered by this tumor. And so the blood has to take alternate routes in order to get back to my heart and the rest of my body. And the flow is not too good, so I get a lot of cramps in my legs. Gusto is still on the mound. He's facing Matt Chapman. That first pitch is a little high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. And I'm going to keep stretching until this cramp goes away. Fouled away by Chapman. The count's even 1-1. Top of the 8th inning. Matt Chapman, the leadoff batter, has a 1-1 count. Pitch from Gusto is in there, but fouled away for strike 2. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Gusto on the mound. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, a foul tip into the glove of Yainer Diaz on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. And that'll be out number 1. Beautiful pitch right in the top of the zone. Just where you want it. It would have been a strike either way. Gusto is pitching really well. He's going to be facing a new batter, it looks like. Casey Schmidt is out, and he is going to be replaced by Lamont Wade Jr., who swings and misses for strike one. Man, my leg just won't give up. High and outside for ball one. The count's even, 1-1. Man, I'm not going to be able to sit down. My leg is just really, really wanting to cramp, and I can't let it. Next pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Wade Jr. 16 pitches now for Gusto. Comes a 2-1 pitch. Check swing, foul ball, strike 2. Still not feeling it. 2-2, here's the pitch. That one's hit hard to right field, all the way out to the wall. It's going to be gone. That's unfortunate. Home run on a 2-2 count for Lamont Wade Jr., who was pinch hitting, or rather, who took the spot of Schmidt. And that's 6-3 Giants. That ball did not have any movement at all. It was right in the center of the zone. You can't do that. That was just a mistake on Gusto. That's all Gusto on that one. 6-3. That brings up Matos. First pitch, he hits through the left side. That's another hit. Single. Matos is on first base with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Sam Huff. Suddenly, Gusto's starting to crack, it looks like. Back-to-back hits. Home run and now a single. 1 out, 1 runner on. There's a little meeting on the mound between Diaz and Gusto. Astros on the phone talking to the bullpen right now. Patrick Bailey will be pinch hitting for Sam Huff. The Astros actually have Rafael Montero warming up in the bullpen. No comment. Here's the pitch to Bailey, the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, just out of the zone, a little up and high. Strike 1. One runner on. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Bailey, and that is a little outside to even the count, 1-1. 21 pitches now for Gusto, who's working his second inning for the Astros. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Clips the bottom part. Strike 2. Batter looks at the umpire. The umpire's nodding like, yeah, it was a strike. And Bailey says, nah, I don't think so. But, you know, it did clip the bottom of the zone, so the umpire got it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Almost in the same spot, but fouled away this time by Bailey. Count stays 1-2. Let's see if I can actually sit down. Am I safe to sit down? Or is this leg going to bother me? Let's see. It seems okay. All right. 95 miles an hour right in the zone. Fouled off down the third baseline. Count remains 1-2. Montero continues to warm up in the bullpen for the Astros. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Got him. High fastball, about 4 inches out of the zone. Bailey went after it, couldn't get it. That'll be out number 2. What a good pitch. That kind of reminds me of Verlander, those high fastballs just a few inches out of the zone. Mike Yastrzemski comes to the plate with 2 outs, runner on first. Swing and a miss on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Up in the outer upper corner of the zone. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Another high fastball, a little up and out, but this one missing the mark. Taken for ball 1. The count is even. It already feels strange to not have my girlfriend here today. Here comes a pitch. Hit hard down the right side, but just foul. Ooh, that was dangerous looking. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gusto trying to get out of this inning with just the 1-run solo shot earlier. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Tap to the right side. Walker's going to take it himself, and that'll be it for the inning. So 1 run given up on the solo shot. Gusto was finally able to get through the inning. So 6 outs, 2 innings of pitching for Gusto, 1 earned run. He did a really good job overall. Just left that 1 pitch right in the middle of the plate with absolutely no movement on it. And the hitter, the pinch hitter, just was right on it. That's the pitch he was waiting for. Astros down 6-3. Still leading in hits though. 7 hits for the Astros. If the Astros get to 10 hits this game and still lose, I'm not going to be unhappy about that. I would just say that it was an unfortunate game for Valdez to give up 5 runs. If Valdez had just given up 1 run in each inning, the Astros would be winning the game right now by a run. No, they'd be tied, I'm sorry, because of Gusto giving up that run. But still, I don't mind the Astros giving up 3 runs in a game. I think that scoring or giving up 3 runs is not bad. The key is, are you scoring runs? If the Astros only average scoring 3 runs a game, I think that's not good enough. I would love to see the Astros averaging 4 runs a game. At least. Because I do believe overall in their pitching. I think that they are the strongest in the MLB overall. It's just my personal feeling. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's just my personal take. We're going into the bottom of the 8th. Tyler Rogers is on the mound for the Giants. He's going to be facing Brendan Rodgers. So it's Rogers with a G versus Rogers with a DG. Only 3 innings for Rogers so far this season. 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Side armor. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. Right up the middle, but caught by the second baseman. And he fires over to first for the out. Simple ground ball by Brendan Rodgers, out number 1, and that brings up Zach DeCenzo. 1-for-3 today with an RBI single. First pitch is taken for strike one. DeCenzo has had a decent day today with the single, the RBI, and the good catch out in right field. Second pitch, check swing, but it doesn't matter. That's in there for strike two. One out, no runners on here in the bottom of the eighth. The 0-2 pitch from Rogers is on the way in just a moment, and here it is. 84 miles an hour, sinker right in the zone. DeCenzo swings and misses. That was the one to hit, man. Couldn't even get the bat on it. Strike three. I've never had the opportunity to hit or try hitting against major league pitchers, but I sure would like to try pitches like that. McCormick is at the plate. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it up. Is it going to be playable? Looks like it. The catcher is back. He's not able to make the catch. It bounces off the screen. McCormick will get another chance. Oh and 1 is the count. 2 outs. Altuve on deck. Let's see if McCormick can do something here. He did have a walk before. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Rogers. High and outside, but a swing and a miss by McCormick. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to McCormick. Another swing and a miss on a ball way out of the zone. McCormick goes down, sadly. And that's it for this inning. The Astros are 3 outs away from losing the entire series to a team that they were predicted to actually sweep. Each of these games, the Astros were favored heavily by at least 60%. But they haven't shown anything with the bats worthy of praise. They do have 7 hits this game, but they've only converted 3 runs. So they've been kind of the small ball Stros that they were last year. Not coming up with as many big hits. And I still have somebody on base. I need to move that off. Guys, we are going into the top of the 9th. The Giants will come to the plate for the possibly last time. And then the Astros will get one more opportunity to tie or win this game. There's not going to be too much of a, I guess you could say, a post-game show after this game. I'm going to run down to the cafe and grab myself some breakfast. And then I'll be back here to do a couple of little things. I'm going to run out to my house today. For those of you who don't know, either you're new or don't remember from last year, I bought an old house out in the countryside here in Hiroshima, and I need to go out there and check some things and check my mail. I'm waiting on my visa application results. This will be my 6th visa for Japan. Rafael Montero. Didn't think I'd see him back in the game, but he's on the mound for the Astros right now, starting the 9th inning. First pitch is in there for a strike. 85-mile-per-hour slider, low and away. Facing Tyler Fitzgerald. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Montero. That one's hit high in the air to left field. Peña's out. He was calling it, but Jordan is out there. and he calls him off, and he takes the ball at the last moment. That's funny. Pena called that really, really right off the bat. But Jordan just kept coming. That's out number one either way. 95 mile per hour off the plate for ball one to Helio Ramos. I don't want Jordan and Pena colliding out there. That's no good. Foul tip, swing and a miss on a 96 mile per hour fastball, and that'll be a strike. 1-1. Montero coming in with the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, 96 miles an hour. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Montero's another guy I'd like to see have a great year. Not just for him, but for the Astros. And there we go. 96 miles an hour. High fastball, swing and a miss. He picks up the K. So a fly out and a strikeout for Montero so far. Montero has a pretty nice contract with the Astros, so it'd be really nice to see him do some good things. 96 on the outside corner, perfectly placed fastball for strike one against Willy Adames. Here comes 0-1 pitch. Just a little high, barely missed the zone on that outside edge. 1-1. 2 away, no runners on here in the top of the ninth. Here comes the pitch, the 1-1 pitch. That one's hit hard, but right to Alvarez. Line drive shot. Alvarez comes in. A 1-2-3 inning from Rafael Montero. How about that, guys? A fly out, a strikeout, and a line out. Montero gets us out of the inning. We go into the bottom of the ninth. Astros down by 3. 6-3. Leadoff batter is my hero, Jose Altuve. Altuve batting over 400 right now. 409 for the season so far, guys. How about that? How about that? I kind of want to see if anybody has a better batting average right now. Let's look at the leaders. Stats. All MLB batting average. Let's see. Okay, he doesn't have the highest, but he's up there. He's in the top 10 right now for batting average. But the information hasn't been updated yet. So we'll see. I guess we'll know later today or tomorrow what the updated figures are. But Altuve is due up, followed by Isaac. I keep wanting to say Isaac. Isaac Paredes, and then Jordan Alvarez. I keep thinking about that first big smash that Paredes had in the first inning. It was easily a home run ball, but it was foul. Altuve gets on. It'd be nice to see him put one out of the park. And then Alvarez come up and even it up. Tyler Rogers is out. Camilo Duvall is on the mound for the Giants. His ERA last year was 4.88. not stellar for a reliever. Jose Altuve steps into the box, taps the plate. He's ready to go. He's wagging the bat. Here's the pitch. 100 miles an hour, foul tip into the glove of the catcher. That'd be strike one. Altuve did go after the first pitch, but at 100 miles an hour that he got the bat on, it was pretty good. Man, Duvall is really throwing the heat. That one's low for ball one. 1-1. You know, Duvall is not just throwing fast. He looks like he's putting everything into his pitches. I wonder if that hurts his accuracy. This one's hit up the middle, but it's going to be knocked down and handled. It was bobbled a little bit by the second baseman, but he's able to pick it up and fire over to first and get Altuve. Man, that was close to being a nice single right up the middle for Altuve. What a good hit. Just in the wrong spot. One away. Paredes comes to the plate. 0 for 3 today with a walk. A little bit of a curve that time. 89 miles an hour. Outside by about an inch. 1-0 is the count to Paredes. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Hit really hard to left field, and he's going to make the catch just barely. Ramos is out there. It almost landed in front of him, but Paredes hit it just a little too hard. It carried out there, and that'll be out number 2. The Astros are 1 out away from dropping this entire series to the Giants. And that brings up Yordan Alvarez. Here comes Duvall's first pitch. 99 right in there on the outside corner for strike one. Yordan staring at the strike zone a little bit. She kind of shakes his head. Wasn't really looking for something out there. Here comes the second pitch from Duvall. That one's also in a similar spot, but a little off the plate. 98 miles an hour. Ball one. The count is even. Duvall comes set on the mound. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Alvarez. A little bit of a curve, or a slider rather, 90 miles an hour, a little off the plate. Alvarez is not stepping out of the box at all. He's just staying in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off by Alvarez, 90 miles an hour. Low and inside, and that will even the count. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Last opportunity here for the Astros to get something going and mount a comeback. Here comes the 10th pitch from Duvall to Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez grounds it to the right side. Looks like it's going to be a flip to Duvall. He covers first base. And that's going to be it. Out number 3. The Astros lose Game 3 to the San Francisco Giants, and they are swept at home. And they drop to 2-4 for the season. I'm going to do a quick recap of this game, and then we'll take a look at what's coming up next. No sense on dwelling on this game too much. I can't say that I'm really bothered by it, even though they lost not only the game, but they got swept in the series. But if you take a look at the stats, it really just falls all on Fromber's shoulders. He gave up 5 runs in 2 innings. I mean, this game would be tied right now if he'd just given up 1 run in each inning. But he kind of fell apart a little bit. Didn't have his control. And the Giants made him pay. And the Astros paid as a result. So the Astros lose this series. Game 1, 7-2. Game 2, 3-1. And Game 3, 6-3. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. In the first inning, on a 2-run homer to Adames, the Giants took a 2-0 lead. In the second inning, Matos had a solo home run, 3-0 Giants. Again in the second inning, Ramos doubled the left, scoring Yastrzemski and Fitzgerald, putting the Giants up 5-0. From there, the Astros had kind of an uphill to climb, but they started chipping away at it. They piled up 7 hits, a respectable number. In the second, DeCenzo singled to center, scoring Pena. 5-1 Astros. In the bottom of the fifth, Alvarez singled to right, which scored both Altuve and McCormick, bringing the Astros within 2, 5-3. Wade Jr. homered to right field off of Gusto, a solo shot, extending the lead to 3 runs, 6-3 for the Giants in the top of the 8th. Unfortunately, despite having more hits, the Astros were not able to convert those into a lot of runs. But, 3 runs off 7 hits, nothing spectacular there. Very, very average. Or as one of my friends in China used to say, very so-so. The tale of the tape today, however, was the pitching performance of Valdez. If he had been on his game, the Astros could have won this game. But whenever the Astros pitching isn't on, right now, the hitting just isn't going to save them. At least not in this current mode. The game tomorrow, I plan to be calling that game too. That's going to be in Minnesota. I feel like the Astros should sweep this series. The Twins are off to a 1-4 start. Hunter Brown is going to be on the mound for the Astros tomorrow. Looking for a good game from him. Joe Ryan is going to be on the mound for the Twins. That game is 5:10 a.m. my time, so I'm going to have to get up early again tomorrow. No problem. I believe I can do it. As of right now, Altuve's leading the team with 389 for his batting average with 1 home run. Just waiting for the rest of the team to come along. Nobody else on the team has a decent batting average so far this season. But Altuve's is stellar. Absolutely stellar. But that's the reason. It's one of the reasons why he's my hero. And that's pretty much going to be it for me today, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for listening in. Looking forward to getting a new layout, getting a new look, making things a little more enjoyable for everyone, and calling these games for the Astros. But I will say until tomorrow, Geaux Stros, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening,